all of it. Cowboying, riding horses, punching cows. I guess just being a cowboy is the best part of all of it, you know? Not like really having a job, because you get to do what you love.
We still got plenty of people to do more stuff.
We might have, I mean, we'll see.
I better get it all out, get it done.
Get it knocked out, might be a long day. Being a cowboy was probably, without a doubt, what I was going to do. When I was younger, is not what I wanted to do. As I got older and went to college and spent some time away, I realized how good it was and how much I enjoyed it, and just working with the guys and being out in the country, being on a good horse, you know, just basically doing an honest day's work for an honest day's pay. I mean, it's a pretty good life. It's pretty hard to beat. A lot of activity going on right here, so you got to be paying attention both ways, okay?
I think the level of respect that cowboys have for each other and family, you're like a family. And anybody would get out of bed at 3:59 in the morning to come and get you if he was in a bind. You know, it is a dying breed, in my opinion, that there's not a lot of people out there doing it, maybe 1% of the world. So, something that I love to do. They all have. Nice shot. I had two, she got away. She won't lay down. She did now. Oh yeah.
The tail pulls and I react. Tail pulls, rope reacts.
Poetry in motion.
Nobody tells anybody where to go. They already know. Everybody has their certain job when we get to the pens, and Josh has always been really good on the chute. He goes up and he runs the head gate in the chute and gives shots. He knows what medicines to give. I've always come back and helped Ladd load. Dale's always gives shot, helps sort. And then Tim and Ladd, we split the cows and calves, and it's just kind of like an unwritten rule, or law, or whatever, however you'd want to call it, assignment, that we already know where to go without being told, in a certain sense. Back home, my dad had a small cow herd operation. In 1995, I went on a cattle drive from Fort Worth, Texas to Miles City, Montana, and we rode a horseback and took 250 steers from downtown Fort Worth to Miles City. So it kind of more inspired me to be on the bigger ranches and do this kind of lifestyle. Always wanted to be a cowboy growing up, but wasn't available where I was living. And after that, it just opened the doors for me to work on the bigger ranches.
1 minute.
1 minute? I'm still early.
You're just gonna get it to America.
I like it a lot. It's definitely the lifestyle that I love. I'm Jessie Donaldson. I go to Shidler High School. I'll be a senior this upcoming year. And then I work at the cafe in town and help my dad whenever I can on the ranch. My brother is Jody Joe Donaldson. He'll be going into 6th grade at Shidler Middle School. He's a joy to be around. There is never a dull moment with him.
Hi, my name is Jody Donaldson. I like to cowboy. Nobody lets you down or puts you down. They all just help you and teach you.
Probably just to gather and be everybody's pit bull when they need it. I just go with everybody and everybody tells me what to do pretty much. It's really fun though, because you don't know what you're gonna run into.
How long I've been a cowboy for is my whole life pretty much. I mean, I've had a rope in my hand since I was able to walk. It's just a lifestyle, what he says, and I want to be like that lifestyle. Well, when I watch him, it's like, yeah, I want to be like that when I grow up. It's mainly my dad where I want to be like, because he's got respect for everybody.
But we couldn't get a lot of this done without our children, and hopefully they'll be the up and coming to the next generation of doing this. They get up with me every morning at 4, They're out here with a smile on their face and they say good morning and mean it. Very enjoyable having them here and being able to have this job and having my kids out here working with me every day. To learn an art that if they want to take off with it when they get old enough, they'll already know how to do the job. Big thanks to the kids and for Ladd allowing the kids to be here, because there's not very many jobs that you can have your children here every day and that the adults are willing to help them along the way and show them and direct them in the right direction that they need to be instead of letting them make mistakes.
Well, my granddad started working for the Drummonds from 1931 to 1949. My dad worked here for 23 years and he's buried in the Drummond family cemetery. And I started working for Tim and Ladd's dad, Chuck, in 1986.
We get 20 by, just bring them up to Dale.
My name's Dale Garrison. I'm a cowboy on this place, but I do almost everything. Just jack of all trades.
I think the cowboys do have a strong sense of ethics. I mean, it's still a world where you'll do $1 million deals on a handshake. We sell our cattle every year without a signed contract to people. And, you know, there's a lot of ethics in this business. When you grow up and you have the God-given responsibility to take care of animals, you have a responsibility to do the best job you can, to be the best steward or manager or caretaker of the gifts that you've been given. So I think everybody that works for us, and especially my brother and our family, when we take that obligation pretty seriously.
To me, the biggest difference in people that don't live our lifestyle, that may live in town or big cities, to me they wake up and they've got a 8 to 5, 9 to 5 job, and their main focus is going through that day, getting through that job, and then I mean, to me, going home to maybe an apartment, a townhouse, and as far as out here, we're just out in the open and we're doing what we love, and we're amongst wildlife, animals. We're on our horses and taking care of God's creation.
Hey Jack, if you want, leave me Josh, Todd, and the cripple, and you take everybody else and go gather that West Morris.
I don't know that I ever wanted to be anything else other than a cowboy.
I'm pretty sure if she'd have hit you, it'd have hurt. She was all there.
Yeah, she wasn't quitting either. She wasn't bluffing. Not every job on the ranch is fun. You learn to work through the ones that aren't as fun to hurry up and get them done and do them the best you can so you don't have to go back and do it again. From that aspect, or perspective, kids growing up in agriculture know how to work. Most of them do. And, they're not afraid of a little blood or sweat.
The keys to any agriculture animal operation is keeping the animals healthy, doing the best job you can with that. So it doesn't work for anybody if the animals get sick, have problems. It doesn't work financially and just doesn't work from a mental standpoint. It's tough on you. We have a very rigorous vaccination program that we use with our animals to do everything we can to keep them as healthy as possible.
Well, the deworming is important for our cattle just because obviously they're worms that are parasite in their bodies, and it takes away from their nutrition. We want to keep our cows in the best shape that we can so we can produce better calves and better meat and things to wean.
So one of the reasons we wean our calves and wean them and try to get them weaned off their mamas for a period of time before we sell them is it's just more advantageous for their health, which in turn there's kind of a twofold process. It's better for the animal. They stay in a familiar environment for the next 60 days when they've just been weaned off their mother. They get used to that. And so it's less stress on that animal, which in turn means that it'll probably have less of a chance of getting sick, which just makes it a better environment for the animal, but the buyers like it better also. If an animal's been weaned 60 days, they know that there's a lot less chance that animal, when they buy it, is going to get sick. So they'll pay more for a calf that's been weaned for a little while than one that's just fresh off its mother.
We wean them, pull them off their mother, separate them, and then put the calves on grass, and they'll keep them for 60, 90 days and then sell them. And the weaned calves usually 700 to 800 pounds.
It's important to weigh your cattle just so you know where you're at. One, maybe for bragging rights. I think it's mainly just so you can brag whoever had the biggest cattle. But it's good to know what they weigh, where you're at, how to vaccinate, how to feed your cattle.
So the important part of catching a weight is just knowing how much the animals weigh. You want to know all through the process how much your animals weigh. We're going to sell these cattle in about 60 days, so if I know what they weigh now, that allows me to have a better idea of what they're going to weigh in 60 days. You know, when I was younger, it was just, you go out, you did the work, you did whatever you had to do. As you get older, you know, as with anybody, I think you learn, you want to be a good steward. You want to do a good job of taking care of the animals. You want to do a good job of taking care of the land. My grandfather always said, this land is your asset. It's your life. It's your bank account, your savings account, whatever you want to call it. That's where basically your whole net worth is tied up as a rancher. You have to take care of that. That's your main asset. We've always tried to do a really good job of being conscientious about being good caretakers of the animals. I mean, there's some cows that are wild and crazy, and you know, sometimes you have to rope and sometimes you have to do that stuff, but the easier you can handle the animals, the better you can do with them. It's just the right thing to do. If you're going to take care of animals, I mean, you need to do the best job you can. And we were always taught, you know, you take care of the animals. That's your job. That's what you're supposed to do. If there's something wrong with it, I mean, if you got a blizzard and you got some cows out there that you know are going to need something to eat that day, then you get out and you feed them. You go do, that's what you have to do. So, you know, our job is to take care of the animals and do the best job we can. Yeah, we're raising them for the production of meat, but while they're under our care and our responsibility, it's our job to do the best job we can.
At first in my life, it became a challenge to be good at it, or in a way of life that I absolutely love. And then, you know, you're hired to do a job. The man pays me to come out here and take care of them, and that level of respect to take care of something, same as any other kind of job, but he pays me. And I probably would do it for free because I love it so much. But just the sense of an animal needs help, and you help them and take care of them. And then there's a sense of prideness that when you get them, come to the pens, and everybody compliments on how well your calves look this year, cattle look, and the place looks so good. And it's just a way of life, in my opinion.
Ladd taught me to be a better caretaker, as in, you know, these animals are here for us to eat them. So we give them the best life. You know, regardless if it's a cow, she lived 10 years, she's raising a baby for us. You know, we really take care of them for them to provide for us to eat. So when he told me that, it gave me a different outlook on caretaking on them. You know, maybe not when we're pregnant, use a hot shot as much, you know, just to be really appreciated for their life and what they're doing for us.
Don't worry about sucking for us so much as you suck that. Seeing a sunrise from the back of your horse is truly probably the best part of our job.
You know, to me, that is the pinnacle of fun, or pinnacle of ranching, is you get to start at daylight. You know, get in behind a set of cows, have them get up, and you know the calves they get up, stretch. It's always kind of fun the first thing in the morning is the best time.
All right, well, we might as well get after it, hadn't we? The gathering first thing in the morning is always fun because your horse is fresh, it's cool. The cows are usually feeling a little fresh and they're gonna try you a little. And that's actually, as long as the cows honor you, which honor means, when you ride and you get in front of them and stop them, they'll stop, they'll turn, and they'll go the other way. Maybe they'll try you a little, try your horse a little. That's always kind of fun if the cow will make a move or two, make your horse move.
He frets. His hair all combed over, all pretty. What a dork.
It's been ingrained in me from the early days that you're going to start at daylight and get as much done as you can, as fast as you can through the day.